Hey guys, it's Doug coming at you with yet another video on how to transform yourself from pawn to player in this game we call life. Let's get right into it, guys. So today I want to talk a little bit about intermittent fasting and its effect on the energy levels throughout your body. For those who don't know, intermittent fasting is the process of only eating within a few hours of the day or a small little window. So just for instance, maybe you decide to only eat between noon and 6 p.m. Just as an example, you can do any sort of period like that. And then the idea is after 6 p.m. you would not eat again until noon the next day. And the cool thing about that is it allows your body time to digest food and also start healing itself once the food has been entirely digested, and also allows for just a smoother energy transmission throughout the body. It's really cool when you guys start to do it more consistently. I, for one, have been doing it a few months now. I know it can be intimidating at first, the idea that, oh geez, I can only eat within a small little window. But actually, it gets easy, and then it's almost something that I would never even stop doing just because it's so useful, and then also it's become so easy. Once your body is used to it, it's just bam, that's the way of life. And what's really cool about it is just how great you feel when you're like at that 18, 20 hours without eating mark, and even beyond. I mean, you can fast for days on end. There's actually lots of studies on that, which is pretty interesting beyond the scope of this video, but perhaps I can talk more about fasting in the future if you guys request it. But what's really interesting is, we're taught, oh, you have to keep eating to keep your energy up. When you're sick, oh, eat to keep your energy up. And actually, that's actually counterintuitive to your body's healing process. Actually, when you don't eat, your body, like I said, first it digests everything you did just eat. And then once your body's no longer taking energy out to digest food, your body is super smart, and it knows exactly what it needs to repair, to improve, all kinds of amazing things if you just give it the chance. So essentially, once your body's done digesting, it'll start to heal, get stronger, and just flow energy throughout the body very easy. So in the last video, I mentioned how our hands are constantly emitting energy, and that's true of actually most areas of our body. You'll also find energy coming out of your mouth, your armpits, between your legs, your feet, and all these things just flow naturally when they're unabated by food. So even though we're taught that, oh, you have to keep eating, 3 square meals a day, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, it's actually right in the name there, guys. Breakfast is breaking fast. And it's actually not advised that you do that. Dang, how do I keep going here? So essentially, guys, and you can easily try it for yourself. It's as simple as not eating, but you'll actually notice is that once you get through that initial attachment, it's like a wall of fire, I like to describe, whenever you're breaking through one of these, common matrix conceptions. There's a bit of a wall of fire there. At first, your ego is gonna say, hey man, you better eat. It's been 16 hours, you gotta eat. But actually, that's more your ego wanting you to eat because it knows, all the food and stuff is just making your body work slower. And, there's all these toxins and whatnot that cause brain fog and a bunch of things that make it even easier to convince you to eat again the next time. And just like any sort of addiction, not that you're always addicted to food, but there is a certain element of addiction when it comes to how frequently we tend to eat food. And as soon as you break that by just proving to mainly yourself, your body already knows actually, but mainly by proving it to yourself by just saying, hey, I'm not going to eat for 20 hours and that's that. You'd be surprised just how energized you feel at that 18 to 20-ish hour mark. It's pretty remarkable. And as soon as you start feeling good, start feeling energetic, you kind of like, oh, wow, I'd been lied to this whole time, huh? And that's exactly right. You really don't need to eat as much as we do. In fact, the less you eat, the more you're letting your body just take care of things, not getting in its way. And you'll be surprised at just how fast we can heal, repair ourselves, actually grow stronger. Believe it or not, your body starts to produce human growth hormone after around that 18-ish hour mark. It's actually a lot of people prefer to work out between that 18 and 21 hour range before eating again, because your human growth hormone can actually spike to about 2,000 times its normal amount, which of course, if you were exercising, lifting weights, whatever you do, your muscles will actually get a huge boost of growing potential, basically, because, you know, the human growth hormone is what allows you to grow. I mean, it's right in the name. But essentially, guys, it's just a really quick tip here explaining the joys and the wonders of intermittent fasting. And just, again, like in the last video, it's something I want you guys to try to apply. Now you know it, but the application is super important as well. Because if you're just like, oh yeah, you know about it, but then never do it, you're never going to truly know and experience it. Because it's easy to just say, oh yeah, I'm sure that works, whatever. But as soon as you do it, you're like, man, and it opens so many possibilities, not only with food and energy, but just in general. It's like, well, what else? What else have we been lied to about? And all these kind of interesting topics you can get into, you know, not to go too far within the realm of conspiracy, but there's certainly a lot of things we're not told. And intermittent fasting is one of the easiest, you know, sort of gateways, so to speak, to kind of realizing that, because it's one of those things, rather than performing some, you know, crazy ritual or doing a really hard exercise regimen, it's as simple as not eating, which you actually it's as simple as not just distracting yourself, basically. You know, you're used to eating maybe at noon every day, lunch, for example. You know, just as soon as noon hits, maybe go, you know, ride a bike, go outside. I mean, it's pretty cold in Wisconsin here, so probably not riding a bike anytime soon. But actually try that, you know, just go exercise. You know, doesn't have to be outside, could be at the gym, could be, you know, in your basement even. There's a lot of great exercises you don't even need equipment for. Just a lot of stuff like that. And I'll eventually get into those types of videos as well. But just for the meantime, this is about intermittent fasting and energy flow. And it's pretty remarkable too, because I actually just ate before the video, you know, just to kind of, you know, really illustrate this, because I was feeling fantastic, full of energy right before eating. You know, it'd been about 20 hours since I had eaten last. And not that I'm exhausted or anything right now, but I can feel it. You know, I can feel, oh, the body is reacting now to what I just ate 5 minutes ago. It's one of those things where, especially as you start to do intermittent fasting more frequently, you really become attuned to what your body is feeling, because, you know, when there's no food in your system, it's just you and your body, and it's much easier to communicate with it. So nowadays, when I eat, I immediately can feel and sense like, oh, wow, you know, that's a good thing for my body, or, oh, I probably shouldn't eat that much. You know, all these kinds of things you start to really observe, because it's just easy to. You're not, oh, maybe that was what I ate yesterday, and maybe that was breakfast. You know, if you only eat around one meal a day, you can kind of isolate and tell exactly what, you know, what it's doing to your body, which is a pretty a pretty interesting feeling too, and it really allows you to really parse out what the best diet for you is. Because actually, every body is different. Everyone's body is different. So actually, the things we should eat or your body wants to eat differs from person to person. So that's why, even though there's very, how should I word this here? There's this kind of accepted diets and food regimens for when you're trying to lose weight, or maybe high calorie ones for bodybuilders when they're trying to gain muscle. But actually, it's more about what your body wants to eat as opposed to what someone's meal plan was, because that meal plan might be beautiful and work great for them, but it could be completely different for you. And it's important to sort of parse out that for yourself. And intermittent fasting is a beautiful way to do it, because you'll immediately see how each food affects your energy, because like I said, it's isolated more. Okay, I ate that, and that's the exact effect it causes on the body. So getting back to the concept of the energy flow throughout your body, so as long as you're not eating and digesting, then your body is just shooting energy through, because we're constantly receiving energy from the universe, and it's up to us to either store it, waste it, or use it to create beautiful things. So it's whatever we're doing at the time, and eating is one of those things that it's a bit counterintuitive. However, eating actually can drain your energy most of the time, because now your body has this additional task. What is this food? Identifying it, then it has to digest it, and then of course you have to eventually release it. So it's one of those things where you really start to observe and know what food is doing to you. Plus, you can really feel a burst of energy, which is great. Even a lot of people I know, and even myself, I'm no different. You wake up in the morning and you just pound a bunch of caffeine for energy. And actually, the less you eat, the less you have to do that as well, because your body will naturally have more energy. And there's tons of ways of increasing your energy. I certainly would like to discuss more of those in future videos. But this is just a quick tip to give you guys a little more incentive to start intermittent fasting and trying it. Of course, most people just talk about the weight loss benefits, which is also massive. You'll definitely lose weight with this technique as well. But we're primarily focused on the energy and how you can increase your energy by doing it, at least in this video. But it is awesome too, losing a bunch of weight, which actually, as you reduce the amount of fat storage in your body, you'll have more energy just from that as well, because now your energy is no longer blocked by all of these deposits. So it's a win-win-win situation, which is exactly what we're trying to achieve in this new 5D reality. We're not trying to sacrifice one thing to get another. We want to have it all. And that, furthermore, just because you might be thinking, well, I'm sacrificing eating. Actually, you'd be surprised at what you can eat during that small window of time. You can basically eat anything within reason. If you want to have some ice cream, go ahead, because if you intermittent fast the next 20 hours, your body can easily handle that, get rid of it. Because while it is important to consider what we're putting in terms of toxins and unhealthiness, if your body can, is equipped to get rid of it, then you have a lot more leeway with what you're putting in there. So again, guys, I'm not suggesting you eat a bunch of, junk food, but it's certainly something that once your body is accustomed to intermittent fasting, is a lot easier for your body to maintain a healthy balance and, you enjoy food. So it truly is a win-win-win-win. And if you ever want to silence your ego telling you to eat, you can just say like, hey, look, we're going to have a delicious meal after this. tell your body too. You can communicate right to your body, hey, we're not starving. The universe is super abundant. We have food everywhere. I'm just choosing not to eat so you can heal. And your body will respond to that. I mean, you have 2 ears right here, so they're always listening to what you tell it. It's pretty interesting, guys. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I just thought I'd let you guys know it's a, interesting energy tip. I was going to talk about sunlight and sun gazing, but it's a pretty cloudy day. So we'll get to that one, guys. Look forward to that next time it's sunny outside here in Wisconsin. We're in the heart of winter. But anyway, that's just a quick tip there, guys. I bundled in a bunch of random factoids there, but hope you enjoy it. Please leave a comment down below if you've, either been inspired to start intermittent fasting, or if you're like me, you've been doing it recently. And just let us know how you guys are liking it, because I love it, and I used to just look forward to meals every couple hours, bam, 3 meals a day, let's go. But not anymore. I realize it's so much better to only eat actually like once a day. That's perfect. Even though I said a 4 to 6 hour window, that's more just so, you're not so rigidly, oh, it's 2, I have to eat, sometimes we're busy, stuff like that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off here. If you haven't gotten an energy transfer reset yet, I highly recommend using the links down below and taking a look, guys. It is a life-changing process. My first 2 videos were all about it. And I do plan to do more in the future, but I also like kind of branching out and doing whatever topics I feel called to tackle at the time. And also, guys, feel free to leave comments below about what you would like me to talk about. There's a lot of things very similar to this health and spirituality, energy kind of topics that I'd love to speak to. So, alright guys, I'm a sign off. You guys have a wonderful experience in the now. Thank you.